Hello, my friend. So today I want to talk to you about belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing. This breath technique for me is the foundation of any other breathing technique that you will ever learn. And the reason is because we want to, for most of the breathing techniques that I teach, specifically related to calming and regulating the nervous system, this is the foundational breath. We want to activate the diaphragm muscle as well as the vagus nerve so that we are regulating, whether it's up-regulating or down-regulating the nervous system. And for more information on why we want to activate the diaphragm muscle and the vagus nerve, we will explore that in another video. But for today, I want to demonstrate and show you how to belly breathe so that you're able to practice this for yourself and then move on to various other breathing techniques that you can do to help with your nervous system. So for starters, what you really want to do is get a body position that is suitable for you. I'm sitting on a meditation cushion. It looks like a little round circle. You can sit on a block. You can sit on a chair. The intention here is to have both sitting bones pressing firmly into the ground beneath you. And then if you're sitting cross-legged, my suggestion is always going to be to have your shins on the ground. This is going to create really good, firm, solid foundation. And if you're seated in a chair, put your feet both on the ground with your legs uncrossed so that you've got that firm foundation into the floor. Then I want you to bring your shoulders over your hips so there's a natural curvature in through the lower spine. You tuck the chin in ever so slightly so that the back of the neck is nice and long, and you feel like these two little bones that sit on the side of your ears, the occipital bones, that these two bones are lifted up so that you're not lifting your head up this way with the chin jutting up and out. You're actually lifting the back of the neck up, and that naturally tilts the chin in, and this gives you a feeling that the crown of the head is reaching up towards the sky. And so having a really good posture when you're practicing this breath technique is important, because if you're slouching, if you're tilting the pelvis forward or even tilting the pelvis back, you're creating an imbalance in not only your posture, but because of that, your ability to breathe deeply in through the lungs and push the diaphragm down so that the lungs can reach their full capacity. Now, we call this the belly breath. There's no air or going into the belly per se, but what happens is there's this diaphragm muscle that sits right on top of the rib cage, directly underneath the lungs. And as the lungs fill up with air, the diaphragm muscle pushes down. And so the pressure between the abdominal and the chest cavity changes. The chest cavity increases with air, and the diaphragm muscle pushes down, and therefore there needs to be something going on with the belly. It can't just stay the same if all of this pressure is pressing down. So the belly will naturally expand. And that's why often when you hear people talk about belly breathing, they say put your hands on your belly to feel whether you're breathing into the full lung capacity. And that's because as you push the diaphragm down, the belly will push out. And then as you breathe out, the belly contracts in, so you draw your belly button inwards. You actually keep the belly as full as possible for as long as possible, and in the last moment as you're breathing out, you draw the belly in. And then naturally what happens is the inverse of what I've just described. If the diaphragm is pushing down, the breath out means that the diaphragm muscle lifts and pulls itself up into the chest cavity, not entirely, but have the image of it, pulls it up into the chest cavity, presses all the air out of the lungs. And so the more you can draw your belly in, the more you can suck everything up, the breath moves out, the lungs contract. And so as you can see, breath comes in, pushes down, belly goes out, lungs are full. Breath goes out, everything comes in, draws in and up, air goes out, contracted. Okay, and so I wanted to give you that visual before we even start, because I think it's really important for us to know that perhaps you've been reverse breathing your whole life. I know I was, that I always thought that it was the opposite. And that just comes from a lifetime of dancing and wearing very tight jeans where, you know, everything needs to be kept in and you have to hold it all in. And the breath then naturally happens through the chest because you're holding everything nice and tight at the bottom here. And this might be completely different for you. It might feel odd. You might feel really tired after practicing this because not only are you reversing a habitual pattern that you've perhaps been practicing your whole life, but also what you're doing is by activating the diaphragm muscle in this way, you're toning the vagus nerve, and also all of the other muscles that run in through the lower belly, they are now going to be working. They're going to be releasing. You have the psoas muscle that connects in through from the spine, runs all the way down the spine through the pelvis and in through the tops of the inner thighs. And so this muscle as well will also be releasing as you breathe. It's just an incredible breath. Honestly, it's the foundation of everything. So with all of that being said, I'm just going to take you through 3 rounds of breath. And then in the next video, we will do a full 5-minute diaphragmatic breathing practice. All right. So hands on your belly, shoulders over hips, chin tucked in, back of the neck long. Breathing in through the nose. Feel the belly press out. And then as you breathe out, slowly, gently press the air out of the lungs. Draw the belly into the spine. Breathing in. Belly presses out. And the breath is moving through the chest, down into the diaphragm, out. And as you breathe out, draw the belly in and up and out. One more time, breathing in. Just imagine the breath going in, down through the chest, pressing the diaphragm down, belly goes out. And then as you breathe out, belly comes in, air travels up and out, belly button all the way through to the spine. Just release that breath practice. Another note that you might want to explore is the breath in and out through the nose only. And you will hear me talk about that in the next video where I explain how we close the mouth and we only breathe in through the nose. And this is also another beautiful way for us to hone and refine our breathwork practice. All right, my friends, if you've got any questions about anything that I've explained, please be sure to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.